Hey, and welcome back to the Podcasting Problem Solver. I'm Leah Bryant, certified growth coach, help busy business owners launch on-brand, results-driven podcasts that support their business goals without the tech stress, content overwhelm, or burnout. Super excited for today's episode because this is going to be a follow-up coaching session with the one and only Rafer Owens Jr. If you caught our last convo, you know we talked through some growth strategies for his show and aligned it with his bigger vision. You can find that link in the show notes. Make sure you go back and listen because it was so good.
Heck yeah.
And I'm not just saying that because it's us. It really was really good. Today, we're actually going to be checking on what's working, what's shifted, if anything, and how he can keep building that momentum, of course, without burning out, because that's the key, right?
Yes.
And this is a behind-the-scenes peek at what it looks like to grow a podcast with purpose and with intention. And I think that you're going to love it. So before I bring him on, let me introduce you to Rafer. He's a mindset life coach who loves walking alongside others to help them turn their Christian values into practical, lived actions. I love that. Using his simple shift method, Rafer helps unpack the power of emotional intelligence, offers easy strategies for everyday challenges, and shows how spiritual growth can happen through natural, sustainable processes. He's also the host of Shift and Giggles, which I love the name, the personal growth podcast that helps you make intentional, lasting change, one small mindset shift at a time. Each episode blends practical tools, self-awareness strategies, and a healthy dose of humor to help you take action and grow intentionally. Rafer, welcome.
What's up? Honored to be here.
Well, thank you for coming back and wanting to chat about all things podcast and your podcast and keep making it even better than it already is.
Heck yeah.
I love it. So to kick things off, like where you're at right now, I would love to know, did you implement any of the strategies that we talked about in our last session? And if you did, what progress or wins have you had with the podcast since then?
I implemented pretty much, I don't know, you gave me like 32 things, and I think I implemented like 31, to be honest. But everything from cover art to how to use the transcripts to build the summaries for both the podcast and YouTube, putting links, easy click links
Love it.
directly to the things I needed people to go to.
Mm-hmm.
So whether that was purchasing the book or working with me, being able to have somebody click the link and then take them right to the form, not just my page. All of those things were just mind-blowing for me at the time. Repurposing content, pulling out quotes to just put up on a Monday or a Tuesday. So many just really good gems that I did. I'm going to try all of it and we'll see where it gets us. And it's been really cool to see the feedback overall in all of that.
Oh, awesome.
Mm-hmm.
What has that feedback been like?
For the most part, it has been, because we're still ground level,
Uh-huh.
it has been family and friends, but they see the difference in what I am doing. And they see clarity in the message. They see the clarity in the presentation. They see the clarity in who I am aiming the message towards. And so that's been really cool to see and to hear. Because again, I feel like I'm a chicken with my head cut off, like, how do I do that? I don't know.
Yes.
But I have another friend who wants me to do a guest spot on her podcast. And she said the same thing. She said, I love your content. I wouldn't even know that you don't know what you're doing because it looks so well put together across different types of media. And so it's been really cool to see me just kind of like trusting the process. But to other people, I am putting out a package deal every single week.
I love that so much. And I love that you're doing this push-up challenge with every new city that you're doing. I love seeing your downloads grow. It's amazing. And all the cities that are coming in. That's a very awesome and unique way, a spin to do just attention.
Yes.
Keep building that momentum. Since you've implemented those changes, Has there been anything that's felt easier or more aligned since putting these into place?
Yes. The different types of media. So Riverside will edit your podcast and, all that's done. But the magic clips is really where your heavy lifting is done for you.
Yes.
And so those things are easy and they're taken care of. How I formulate and make my snapshot of the podcast episode, 6, 7 slides. How do I package those, or these one-off quotes? How do I package those? It makes it a lot easier to create, because I really don't have to create, but to make one picture in Canva and then just over and over and over again, rinse and repeat, new quote, change the topic, change the episode, post it. And I was telling my friend the other night, I do most of my content building putting my kids to bed at night, in that window where my son should be sleeping, but he's not. And he's thinking about all the deep questions of the universe. But that's when I do it.
Love it. And shout out to Riverside. I will put an affiliate link below. If you don't have one of those, Rafer, you should get one of those. It's pretty amazing.
I will now.
Yes. Reach out to them. It's so good with the Riverside. I want to zoom out, though, for a second and talk about your overall direction.
Yes.
So in our last session, I know you mentioned that season 2, you were maybe shifting your audience focus potentially.
Yes.
I wanted to see, are your podcast goals still the same, as they are in season 1, or are they definitely shifting and evolving with season 2?
We are definitely becoming more laser focused on who we are talking to in season 2. Yeah, season 1 was really just the same with the book, just trying to get the message out there. I've kind of been explaining it to people like the book was the match starter for this entire process to lead me to the podcast, to lead me to speaking and workshops and doing more things outside of my home. And so season 2 is taking all of this Simple Shift stuff and bringing it, like you said earlier, to Christians who are looking for practical ways to live out their Christianity.
Love it.
I taught a Bible study last night, which that's a whole story in itself, but taught a Bible study last night. And a lot of times with Christians, we wrestle a lot with natural versus spiritual. And so we leave a lot of natural things off to the side because Jesus is spiritual. But I said the natural things are not what save you or change you or grow you necessarily. They're just the access to the change that should happen to you.
Ooh.
And so, I've been learning how to say that better over the past few months of just trying to figure this out, how to give this to Christians in daily, small bits and pieces every single day, every moment. And so that's what season 2 will be, how to take all of Christianity and mindset and actually put it together so we can live the lives that we want to live.
Oh my goodness. I've got those Holy Spirit goosebumps. Yes,
That's
please.
what's up.
I love this so much.
Heck yeah.
So much. You could even practice with Bible study.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And use that kind of as a bounce ideas off of, or just maybe test some content too, right? Because it would be all along in the same lens. And
we will be testing.
Yes. I think that would be really awesome. So I know that one of the things that we've spoke about before, and I know I asked you this actually today, content is one of those pieces that's harder to navigate. And I just want to say that it's so common because, hi, I'm Leah, and I even struggle with this. You start with this big, giant message you want to share, and then, life will hit.
Yeah.
Or you're like, wait, what am I actually supposed to talk about each and every week? Oh my gosh. So I want to first break it down and figure out what's really going on with your content. And I'm going to do this. I'm going to go through a little bit of my seamless podcast framework, just 2 pieces of it.
I love it.
That correlate with content. So that way it kind of sets this foundation for us.
Got it.
So it's called seamless. SEAM is capitalized. So the S is for strategy. And in this phase, we look at content through the lens of clarity. Because when you know who you're helping, which you're nailing this down,
right,
and how you're helping them, the topics kind of write themselves.
Correct.
For the most part, right?
Mm-hmm.
So here's a few pieces we can walk through. Know your listener, get clear on who you're talking to and what transformation you're helping them with and want to achieve, which you're doing great at. Content gets easier when you're not guessing who it's for, which we know this, right? And then you want to define your content pillars. I think this is really important, and some podcasters forget it, is that if you choose 3 to 4 themes that align like with your brand and your message, offers, your audience needs.
Right.
Like the mindset shifts or the emotional intelligence or the faith in action, like these can become your guardrails.
Right.
We're going to keep it, right? Because I'm really good about, there's an exit and there's an exit. Let's go this way. We want to stay, have those guardrails keep us.
Yeah.
And then mapping out that listener journey. This is another piece that a lot of podcasters forget, which you're working on. I think this is really great. So think about what someone needs to hear at the start of their journey. And what comes next? Where are you leading them to?
Yes.
Use that guide in your episode flow. So if you're leading them to something, don't leave that till the last 5 seconds. Sprinkle it all in.
Right.
And then obviously align it with your business goals, because at the end of the day, we're not just hobbyists podcasts. We have, business goals.
Yes.
And every episode should serve a purpose. And whether that's the building trust or addressing a common problem or even guiding them to work with you, which I think you should do in every episode, is really important. And then once we have that, we go to the E, which is for execution. And this is where we make the process feel lighter. Now, I know everybody's like, oh, content, it's so much. It's just it's a heavy on your shoulders, right? It's oh.
Yeah.
But this is all about removing that friction so that you can create content consistently without starting from scratch every time, right? Because I think that's the key too, is just building upon each other, which you do a really good job at. So that could look like creating a repeatable workflow. I don't know if you have workflows, you can let me know, but templates, you just said you use the Canva templates, checklist. I know that you do a really good job at batch recording, which cuts down with decision fatigue.
Correct.
And then getting yourself ahead. And then obviously plan and then plug it in, right? So map out your content in advance, based on your pillars or your funnel, even your themes, if you have mini series, that way you have no more blank page panic, because I do that. Keep it sustainable. Episodes don't have to be 40 minutes. They could be literally 5 minutes. I have edited for clients 3-minute episodes, and they were the most impactful 3 minutes I've ever sat through.
Oh, I love that.
Because it doesn't have to be a 40-minute rant about something or chat about something. Maybe rant is a harsh word, but it could literally be short and sweet. Just something for them to quick listen to while they're brushing their teeth and ready for the day. Use your voice first. So try to recording voice notes when your inspiration strikes on your phone. If you're running, I know sometimes when people run, they have those aha moments, right?
Yes.
So just
so many.
This, right? So just talk to yourself in those notes, because those raw ideas can become outlines.
Yes.
And then can produce powerful episodes. So after going through all of that, I want to turn it over to you and hear what about the content? Is it unclear? Are you feeling that there's some sort of shift that you need to make? Because I want to talk this, see how we can make this easier for you.
Yes. I was with this in mind. I was talking to my wife about it this morning. So I started training for a half marathon, which is crazy.
It's awesome.
And so the first week of training, though, I was so tired from just running, just getting my body acclimated to running. And so I was in the middle of this push-up challenge for the podcast. And so I get a week into training, and I don't know, I'm on day 47, 46 of push-ups for every city. And I get on Instagram and I go, hey guys, I'm tired. I can't do push-ups anymore. I'm going to keep promoting the podcast. We're going to get there, but I'm going to stop doing push-ups. And 2 things happened immediately. One, I stopped making the other content that was easier to make. And I saw a drop in my downloads.
Oh, interesting.
Yes. And I hated that because I was like, dang it.
Yes.
That was working. that was working on 2 fronts. It wasn't just working because I was getting out content every day, but because I knew I had a piece to rely on that I was going to make every day. It gave me a second piece of content every day.
Mm-hmm.
And so doing the push-ups gave me a video to bring some people in. But then on top of that, it opened up the door to, okay, also do this other thing so you can make sure that it's not just push-ups on your page.
Right.
And so having about 2 weeks of no push-up videos and very little content. Yeah. Last week, I woke up on a Wednesday and was like, oh my gosh, I got to post the podcast. I did not do it. Jump out of bed, run downstairs. It was a whole thing. And these push-ups really were kind of keeping me in line on the execution side of it and made everything so much easier to keep the chain moving. So unfortunately, I got to go back to push-ups. And quite a few people that I know were like, hey, you need to go back to the push-ups. Many people told me that, like, you have to go back to the push-ups. We love seeing the growth.
True.
Which, of course, I was like, well, can you just give me a like then? Like, can you like
share it with
the
brand?
video? Like, you see it, you know? But I did. I had a massive learning, like real time. Okay, you have to organize your time so that you can both do these push-ups and then still make the content you need to make. But the push-ups were a very valuable piece in helping me do this. I did not realize how much weight it was carrying by getting in shape and recording a 30-second video, you know?
So I have a question for you.
Yes.
And I'm going to apologize for every runner out there because I am not a runner.
Fair.
I am not. So in lieu of your training for this marathon.
It's a half. I do want to clarify that. It is a half.
Oh, a half?
Yes.
Okay.
Still 13 miles. It's crazy.
So do you run 13 miles every day? Like,
no.
Okay. Do you run every day?
5 days a week I am running. Yes, ma'am.
So what if you did a combination? You ran your 13 miles. So there's 13, right? Cities.
Mm-hmm.
And then maybe finish it out with push-ups. Or maybe you alternate it and maybe it's not every day. Maybe it's a couple times a week.
Yeah.
Or maybe you change it to where maybe it's not push-ups every day. Maybe it's so many push-ups in a week based on the new cities that you're getting.
Yeah.
Or with the running. Do something like incorporate the running so that way you're still benefiting from your training from your marathon. You can bring that into the story too, right? Because that takes mindset, growth, and all the good things.
All of them.
I mean, I would imagine. And then incorporate the push-ups too.
Yes. And I think, honestly, long runs are probably the most eye-catching for non-runners. I think for a non-runner, which I was like 6 months ago, you know, for somebody who's like, yeah, I ran 3 miles, it's like, who cares? But if you say, hey, today I ran 8, everybody stops and goes, what? Why would you do that? You know, but it's an attention grabber.
Yes.
100%.
And because I'm saying this because I don't know how I got on like runners Instagram reel scroll or whatever, because I'm not a runner, which is so funny. But there was this lady she was running an obscene amount of miles. And like for every mile when she was running, and I don't know how feasible this is, again, not a runner, but as she was running, she had her phone up and she was like doing a selfie video and she was putting the number of miles up that she was running with her hand. So that way they're seeing an action shot of you running with however many miles. That's a thought too. That would be something fun. Or, you know, whatever you want to do, some kind of video or something.
I run without headphones. And that is one thing that I think about. How can I use this? Because it should work for something other than my aerobic base. Right. For sure.
And if anything, you could use that for the inspiration time, right? Like whatever's hitting you, thoughts.
And there are a lot of those.
Yeah.
A lot of those.
That's really good. And is your audience resonating more with the video component versus carousels or just static images?
The podcast reels and the carousels do very well. I've also learned that the personal stories do better as carousels than the episode recaps.
Okay.
So I was talking about how running just essentially was helping me cope with the ups and downs of the business.
Right.
Gave me something in my control, you know, yada, yada, yada. And I mean, that was probably 3 or 4 weeks ago, and people are still going back and liking individual pictures on Facebook from that singular carousel post, which
I love it.
blows my mind, but it's still popping up for people. And so that is one thing I've noticed. Yes, the reels themselves, because it's quick, and I'm now into the deep dive part of the season and all these things. And so it is catching people a little quicker, but the personal carousels probably do better than anything else.
Because it's relatable.
In my mind, makes no sense. And I don't know if it was you who said it. I don't know where I heard it, but they were like, stop marketing to yourself.
Oh, I didn't say that, but that's genius.
Stop marketing to you and market to your target audience.
People, yeah.
And I was like, well, that makes sense. And that makes sense why marketing to myself, it probably sounds like a hammer drop,
Yeah.
But marketing to my target audience, it's relatable and it's engaging, and people, they show up for the personal things more than they do me just giving them information.
I love that. And like the thing with the carousels too, this is why I love carousels, is because yes, it will show that front picture of the carousel to your audience, but it will also show each and every single one after that. So you're showing up 8 times, 10 times, however many carousels. And that gives that person the opportunity, or anybody really, to see your content that many more times.
Yes.
Plus, I've learned this yesterday. I was following Instagram person, Guru, and that apparently Instagram reads your graphics, the text on there for SEO. So like if you're also strategic in what you put on there,
got it.
When people are going in to type something in the search bar, it's going to also come up.
That's genius. Good to know.
Right?
Really good to know.
I was like, this is a game changer. So like whatever keywords you're focusing on, like within that episode, then you could really try to align the content with that in the carousel.
That makes sense.
And even like if you did like a personal story carousel on your publishing day, then in the morning, and then maybe in the afternoon. I know you've gone live. Have you gone live? Or is it just a post a reel after? I don't know if you've gone live, how you feel about going live. Sometimes you could test it to see how it would do. Talking about the episode that week, tie in that personal story.
I have not done that yet.
Maybe you don't do it the same day.
It's in the back pocket.
Yeah, because I think that maybe even, so you moved your publishing day to Wednesday, which I love.
Yes.
So maybe even Thursday or Friday, you could come back and do a live telling that personal story bit to your audience. Obviously not the whole thing, but maybe just a snippet to guide them to the episode.
Yeah.
Or like, are you struggling with this like I did? Or however you want to preface that to like bring in conversation. This would be something to think about as far as that. And then have you posted? I don't think you have. I've seen your carousels and I've seen your reels, which are really great. I'm wondering if your audience would resonate with any quotes.
The quotes, they do okay.
Okay.
I think everything overall does better when I am posting more.
Yeah.
And so again, without the push-ups, the engagement overall has kind of dropped off. But yeah, everything does well when everything is doing well.
I don't even think you have to post like every day. It's just those first 72 hours of the like counting the day that your podcast drops.
Okay.
That's the key, because that's when you want to send listeners to the podcast players, because their algorithms are just like Instagram or Facebook, right? Like the more people that are listening, the more it's going to keep pushing you in front of other people. So if you can drive people within those first 72 hours.
Got it.
And then go to your stories outside of that.
Yeah.
And then figure out a way maybe to incorporate the running with the push-ups.
Yeah. This is good.
Right? Because we don't want you to like, hurt yourself by doing all the things, right? Because training for a marathon is no small feat. And then adding in push-ups, it's a lot.
It is.
Right? And like you said, your body was tired. I don't know, maybe it's more adapt now to handle push-ups more. I don't know.
Definitely more adapt right now. So we'll see as we get back into it.
Try it out.
Yeah.
I love that. All right. So I want to switch gears to talk about what it takes to stay consistent.
Mm-hmm.
So not only staying consistent, but also the mental and the emotional piece.
Yes.
So like what's been the biggest mindset hurdle for you when it comes to staying consistent or showing up confidently?
I think the biggest hurdle mentally has been, and this is exactly how I say it to myself, do I really have the juice that I think I have? Do I really have the juice? Because again, the ups and downs of just trying to get the message out there. If you're not, I love and hate the internet, because famous people are famous. And not that it takes so little, but their work has been put in for so long. And now they can just say something and it just blows up. And so that constant cycle of, do I have the juice? And then there's that reminder, maybe somebody says something, or I get a text message from a previous one-on-one client, or one time I got a text from his wife. I don't know how long you guys met together. I don't know what y'all talked about, but he's a different person.
That's amazing.
And this was a month and a half after we got done. So I hadn't met with him in a while. And then she had texted me. So then it was like, I do have the juice. Okay. And that was honestly the push that got me into the podcast to just record. I recorded 10 episodes in a month.
It's like boss status.
It was just enough to like, well, it's done now,
Yes.
But that hurdle and every new level is, do I have the juice to do this next thing? And so it was, do I have the juice to write the book? Do I have the juice to start a podcast? Do I have the juice to send a video to every single contact in my phone telling them I want to speak and do workshops? And if they can help me, please help me. Do I have the juice? And there's just a moment where it's like, I think I do. And then you do the thing and it's like, okay, here we go. And it's a beautiful hurdle to jump over every single time. It really is.
I love that. So 2 things.
Mm-hmm.
And I hope I get this saying right. So it's, what is it? God doesn't call the qualified, he qualifies the called.
Yeah, 100%.
Not saying that you're not qualified, because I definitely think that you are. But in those times of doubt,
yes,
tell that adversary to take a hike. You know what you're doing.
For
what
sure.
you're doing. That goes for anybody, because I think that that's a very easy exit to take on our road.
Yeah.
Right? Like, and to get distracted, especially when you are doing the good work.
Yes.
Then the distractions become more and more. The self-doubt becomes more and more.
Mm-hmm.
And then you're being deterred from doing what you are really being called to do.
Right.
So I want to flip this script. What if I came to you as a client?
Yeah.
I was saying that exact same thing. And you may already do this with yourself. I don't know. But I think this would be a great exercise for the audience to hear.
Yeah.
Like, what strategies or thoughts, what would you tell someone who was like living in the same scenario?
What I would tell someone...
Not to put you on the spot, though.
No. Even before telling someone else, I just, in these last 4 months, there was, one day I woke up, nothing's working, nothing's happening. And I was just in the dumps. I get to work, I have my book because I wanted to get quotes out of the book so I can make content. But as I'm reading the book, I'm like sitting there crying.
Aww.
Because my own words were so encouraging to me about just doing it.
Oh, that's so good.
Like, you gotta do something. You gotta plant the seeds. You have to show up. Like, the results are not going to be there the first time. It may not be a year before everything gets crazy. It may not be 2 years or 5 years. But reminding myself legitimately, and there's been a lot of moments where it's just been so hard that I have to tell myself, hey, it's just your job to plant the seeds. And I pray for every non-Christian, because I'm like, man, I love that I have a hope and a peace in Jesus that says, I'm just going to be obedient with what he gave me. It's my job to plant. It's my job to water.
Yes.
And at some point, he's going to do the thing he says he's going to do. I did an event and I had my books. Going in, I'm going to sell the books. I'm going to make my money back, yada, 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 all the things. And clear as day, I heard, just give the books away. Do you not trust that I know what I'm doing with your business? Do you not believe that if you just plant the seeds, somebody here, you don't know who's here. You don't know who needs a speaker at an event. You don't know who needs a workshop for their business. Just hand the books out. And so I do. I hand the books out, and legitimately, I just booked a 5-week Bible study for a church because the pastor doesn't have the time to teach a Bible study. And so he was like, I'm working on my doctorate. It would really help me out. We'll pay you. I was like, okay, okay. And just showing up and being obedient has been the biggest help in that. The work is not in vain. And especially with the internet, everything lives forever. Even if you delete it, we've all seen it. It's still there. And so just keep planting.
At the end of the day, you're building a legacy too, right?
Exactly.
For generations to come.
Exactly.
I think that's also something that sometimes we may forget is what we're doing now. We may not see the fruits of our labor, but just thinking about like future generations or people in the future that could be impacted by the work, right?
Yes.
Not only that, like your kids are going to have your podcast listened to forever.
Which is crazy.
And they'll be able to go back. Maybe they want to come to you directly and ask for advice. Right. But they can be like, oh, I remember that episode that Dad did. Let me go listen to it. For sure. After they've read your book, of course.
Number 1, please read the book.
Right. And I will link that in the show notes for everyone to go get. Speaking of you booking the Bible study, one thing I think that we often forget as entrepreneurs is, especially with podcasts, is that when you go to look at your like all-time stats, and you're like, oh gosh, I'm only at 100, or oh gosh, I'm only at 500, or oh gosh, I'm only at 1,000. Well, picture yourself in a room with those people. That's a lot of people.
Yes.
Whether that's family or not. Like 500 people, that's a lot of folks to talk to and change lives.
That's crazy.
Right? So like, I think that in those hard days, especially, just remember that. Like, even if your downloads have dipped, they haven't dipped to 0. You're still changing lives. You're still making an impact.
Yeah.
And by the way, the summer months always have a dip. Fun fact.
Oh, good to know.
So think about that because people are outside of their regular routines.
Yes.
So whether they're listening to you on their drive to work or while they're taking the kids to school or while they're washing dishes or whatever else they're doing, all of that has gone out the window because kids are home and vacations are happening. So summertime, podcast downloads dip. Holidays, podcast downloads dip. So just kind of keep that in mind too.
That makes sense.
You'll see that come back with or without the push-ups.
That's encouraging.
Good. I'm glad. So before we wrap up, I want to actually have a little bit of a reflection. What's one thing that you're most proud of since starting your podcast?
I think I am most proud of the trial and error to get to this view that you have right here. I maybe had 4 or 5 different setups before I recorded my first 2 episodes, probably 4 times in different ways, using a TV tray, using my kids' little bench table situation, just so many things back and forth, just trying and trying and trying. And then like, okay, this is as best as it's going to get. Go, do it. And then putting it out there. And then feedback from friends and family. Hey, just so you know, when we watch it on YouTube, you're in like the bottom half of the screen, man. Like you gotta. And so here I am filling out the screen, just things that I didn't know I needed to hear or see or do until you get into it. And so I am just very proud of trying because in trying, I found so much gold in just trying. I think those first 4 recordings of just, all right, babe, I'm going to record today. How'd it go? It sucked, Okay, I'm going to record on Thursday. How'd it go? The camera just stop. You know, I got to find a chair. I need a table. I need, just all the different things. And crazy enough, the business paid for, didn't have to come out of pocket for anything, which is mind blowing to me. But just trying and trying and trying. And those conversations with my wife, I got to buy this now. I got to do this,
Yes.
But just trying, putting myself out there before we even got to a published anything, just trying, showing up, seeing what sticks, what doesn't. I recorded those first 2 episodes 4 times. And the 4th one finally was like, okay, we can start this for real, but just trying.
I love that so much. When you're thinking about like the podcast, the future, your business, all the things, like what do you think is your next bold step? And how do you think the podcast will support that?
My next bold step is to take this on the road. I want to speak. I want to lead workshops. I want to go into businesses and talk mindset. I want to come into churches and do practical Christianity. I want to impact people in real time. And I think the podcast will allow me, I've been saying it puts me in places that I'm not there yet.
Uh-huh.
And so that is what I think about most when I sit down to just batch record. Because my episodes are only 20 minutes, I'm like, I used to be a preacher and I'd preach for an hour, So I'm like,
right.
I get done with 3 episodes and I'm like, nice. And I sat down the whole time. This is easy,
Right.
But I think the podcast will continue to put me in places that I cannot physically be. Checking my stats yesterday, I'm in like 7 countries, which is wild. I'm like, what?
That's amazing.
Okay. And so the podcast is going to help me get this message out.
Yes.
10 times, 100 times quicker than it can just do with me. Yeah, it's always shocking to me when my siblings, I'm the oldest of 6. So if any of them is like, yeah, I told my coworker about your podcast.
I love it.
What?
It's so good though.
It's so cool. And so, yeah, I want to be with the people. I want to shake hands and really get into the nitty gritty with companies and people and churches and groups. And the podcast is going to be the tool that, it's their introduction to me. And so that's what I am looking forward to the next year.
I love that. Also, just putting this out there, there are several Facebook groups, both Christian and non-Christian, where you could promote yourself to be a guest. That will also bring in more audience. You can show your expertise. Yeah. Other audience can benefit. Something to think about for that to help you with that growth.
Yeah, those are the tools I need.
Yes. And I'm happy to help any way that I can too by sharing your speaker page with all the people.
Speaker page.
I can link that too below that PDF that you sent me.
We gotta talk about this speaker page.
Let's do it.
So you told me to make this speaker page.
One sheet. Mm-hmm.
Which I followed this guy, did his workshop. He said to do that. And I was like, all right, cool. Never got to it. You say, do the speaker page. I immediately go to my wife and I'm like, babe, Leah said I have to do this. So I have to do this today. Okay. Today. Sorry. I can't make dinner. I can't clean up.
Oh, gosh.
Leah said, do it. I'm going to do this right now.
Don't mention my name anymore. She's not going to be happy.
No, she loves it. She's like, I'm glad somebody is telling you to do something, And so that Thursday or Friday, I make the speaker page. And Saturday, I see this Gary Vee video. Mm-hmm. And he says, if you have a service-related business, record a video that says, hey, it's me. This is what I'm doing. It's my new business. And if you could help me by just sharing my information, this is what I'm trying to do. I'm going through everybody in my phone. I'm sorry if this is spam, yada, 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 whatever.
Yeah.
And it was one of those moments where I was like, oh, dang it, I have to do this. I know I have to do this.
Right.
So I make the video, But with the video, I was able to send my speaker page, my one sheet, to 300 people in my phone.
Stop. Yes.
And just, over half the people ignore it, but
that's okay. The seed was planted.
30, 40, 60 people. Hey, okay, if I see anything, sure. And even the people who just, this is inspiring. I love this. Everything you do is right here. It was so cool to have that piece of information, that one sheet to send to everybody. And it had links to my email, to the website, to the book. It was so cool. I go to my event, I print it off, laminate it, and the amount of people who are just sitting there reading it. And I was like, oh my gosh, this was gold. And so I want you to know that one sheet, that speaker one sheet, has come in clutch, more than I could have ever imagined.
Now, that video, do you have that on your website?
I don't have the video on the website, no.
I'm just thinking, if you could create, it could even be a private, it's on your website and live, but it's not public facing.
Mm-hmm.
You could put that video in there with your one sheet, and just that way you could send that link and they're coming to your website too. That way they're seeing also your services and other things outside of just the video and the one sheet.
Genius.
But I love that. That's so good. I'm so proud. This is amazing. You're planting all these seeds.
Was really cool.
It's going to be like, boom.
So cool.
It's going to be so good. Rafer, thank you so much for coming back and letting us follow along with your journey. It's amazing. I know so many podcasters listening are going to see themselves in your story.
Heck yeah.
And your honesty in the challenges and the small wins is exactly what makes this kind of episode so powerful. And if you're listening and you're thinking, okay, I need someone to help me zoom out and actually make a plan for my podcast, that's exactly what these coaching conversations are all about. I'd love to have you on to do that. And if you're thinking, oh my gosh, I need to work with Rafer, we will share that in just a second so that we can reach out to him and you can have your own coaching section on his podcast.
Yeah.
So you don't have to guess your way through growth. You just need the right support and a strategy that actually fits your life. So go check out Rafer's show, Shift and Giggles. We'll drop the link in the show notes so you can follow along with his journey. And if this episode got your wheels turning, let me know. Send it to me in the DMs. I'd love for you, Rafer, to share with the folks what's the best place to find you. And if there's anything you're working on that you want to share with listeners, share that too.
Ooh, the best place to find me is Instagram. That is where I am. Rafer Owens Jr. on Instagram. I'm a millennial at heart. That's where I got stuck. I'll be on Instagram till I die. All the new technology, I'm like, oh yeah, TikTok. I forgot, Instagram is the main thing, but you can find me YouTube, Apple, Spotify, iHeart, Amazon, all the places. And season 2 is in full swing. We are aiming at Christians, practical Christianity.
I love it.
Everyday access to real-time holiness. How do we do that? It's so good. It is my passion. It is what I love to do. And we are slowly but surely going to work in online group coaching, online courses, so that I can start to, again, get some things out where I don't have to be in the room, that can lead to bigger and better things for not just myself, my family, but for everybody listening, everybody who wants a better life in Jesus. That's all coming.
I love it so much. We are here for it. Excited. We're going to have you back on the Podcasting Problem Solver and talk about mindset.
Heck
I
yeah.
think that'll be really impactful for podcasters.
That's what's up.
We'll have to follow along to peep out when that's going to come. What I want you to do, though, is I want you to DM both Rafer and I and tell us your biggest takeaway. Or you can send us questions. I know we would both love to hear from you.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then if you have a question, there's a link in the show notes below. Click on that and you might just hear your name in a future episode.
Nice.
Make sure you're following both our podcasts so you don't miss what's coming up next. Also have a free newsletter where I share weekly strategies to launch and grow your podcast with purpose. And that link is also in the show notes. So thanks for being here, everyone. Until next time, stay consistent, stay curious, and keep it seamless. Bye for now.